What's good, everyone? My name is Electric, and I'm joined now with Drogi to start off the second week of our 70-star Super Mario 64 League. This match between Dwhatever and JJsrl. This is such a hype match, and I'm really happy to be here commentating this with y'all. How do you feel about this one, Drogi?
Hi everybody, thank you Electric. I'm very hyped for the race. I have watched Dwhatever and JJ like a lot in the past few weeks, especially Dwhatever, his 120 grind. And I'm really interested in seeing how he can pull off his practice in his 70-star run. I also watched JJ last week, his race. And yeah, I think this could be a close race. Like depending on how good Dwhatever's day is, on how bad JJsrl's day is, like we'll see.
Definitely, and I'm curious how much Dwhatever has practiced the 70 specific stars recently. I wonder if we might see a little bit of an issue, or like maybe a little bit of more conservative play on like Lava Boost or the Wet Dry World 100 with secrets and other strats like that.
Yeah, that's actually a thing. Like I always have problems with like stars like TTM Reds when switching from 70 to 120 when you have to switch up the movement. It can be hard to keep like both consistent at the same time.
And I'm curious to see like
or 120 movement.
Right, and especially when you're at Dwhatever's level, and he's known for having an insanely fast TTM Reds. I wonder if we might see like him drop the speed kick or other different parts of that movement, or if he might just go for the fast movement and maybe have a little bit of inconsistency. Getting on into Lakitu skip now, seeing JJ go for that more basic setup that gives you a better alignment, but Dwhatever going all in, high octane setup. Both of them passed them right on by the Lakitu. We don't need to know how to use the camera. It's built into speedrunner DNA. You just have the muscle memory for the camera. The camera knows where to go. Going on into BOB. Nope, no island hop here. I thought for a moment JJ might go for it with that like brief flash of the camera, but we're not playing with that risky business today. Only like 4 seconds saved, and for a race, it's not really worth the potential loss.
Maybe he does it second. We don't know.
That'd be the power play right now. It's the complete show of dominance.
Yeah, the disrespect.
God, that's like, I saw this clip the other day that was absolutely beautiful. You know about like the chess minigame from Ocarina of Time, right? Where you normally use the lens to see what's in the chest.
Oh, yeah.
At GDQ, there was an 100% relay race, and the team that Figo2 was on was so far ahead that he decided to try to go through without the chest, without the lens, and he got it, like on the 3rd or 4th try. I think it was like 4 or 5 separate 50% rolls that he passed in a row. It was so hype when he got through it.
Yeah, that sounds like something Figure would do. Figo2, I mean. Classic Fig.
Yeah, that's the Fig, and the whole Ocarina of Time community going through some growing pains, but it is what happens when glitches get found. Now we're going to be moving into the own painful part of Mario 64, Whomp's Fortress. Do you care to tell the viewers why this can be a little bit of a drag for runners trying to just get a run going?
Well, I believe Whomp's is the most optimized stage. It has a few tricks that are really hard, like Owlless and Cannonless. Dwhatever is doing Cannonless right now, JJ as well. And if like just one of those 10 tricks doesn't work, you lose a lot of time, and since it's early in the game, you would rather just reset. Same for the 100 coin cycle. One small mistake and you lose the cycle. And that's a big time loss, so you would rather just start over.
Yeah, and we see JJ actually missing Cannonless on that first attempt there, even with the full setup. Dwhatever though, fence flip not quite working out. I think he just didn't hit A quite fast enough for the double jump, but still Kobeing his way right on into Owlless. And JJ full setup attempt yet again, but it does work for him this time.
But yeah, that gave Dwhatever a bit of a lead. He's going into the 100 coin star now, doing the pro cycle. Looking good so far.
Yeah, that slope dive was really nice. Now this kick up here is going to be really important. Of course, he's done it a million times, totally fine.
Yeah, but just a tiny mistake means he's gonna miss the cycle, but Dwhatever succeeded here. Really good. JJ as well.
And the ending can't really be overstated either. Even though for these runners it's really easy, getting that red coin with that kick can be a little bit tricky whenever you're trying to learn this star. It's really easy to finally, feel confident because you finally hit the cycle you're looking for and then just completely mess up the ending and get a time that would be equivalent if you missed 2 platform cycles. Oh, JJ getting a punch instead of just a kick there. Looks like he hit A a little too late somehow. That's one thing that's so infuriating when you're trying to get a kick, hitting A and B at the same time, and somehow you get a punch. Because your thumb shouldn't really move to the B button first, but occasionally it just does.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating.
Yeah, that's a trigger. Now D struggling a tiny bit with Wild Blue, the tree grab. His first, bigger struggle, I'd say, in this one. But still no huge mistake by Dwhatever.
Very
JJ.
nice owl from JJ.
Perfect.
Dwhatever, that slope jump was really, really clean getting up to the wall. I think did he actually jump before Mario started sliding back down? I don't see a lot of people do that. That's a really high level big brain strat. See, JJ did it the way that you normally see runners go for it. And Dwhatever didn't save more than maybe 5-6 frames. It wasn't very much time, but that just goes to show how optimal Dwhatever's gameplay is.
Yet I know that he puts a lot of effort into making his game optimized. He doesn't just practice a ton, he also tries to optimize every small thing. He keeps doing research on which is the fastest way to do anything, and then he grinds that for an eternity. He loves to do that.
Yeah, that's a big thing you see with a lot of top runners, Simply too. I mean, Simply on his stream has gone through Sirmark's 6-hour video on random strat theories. And some of the strat theories don't end up panning out, but by exposing yourself to all of these different techniques that you could use to get a star, you leave yourself a really nice toolbox that you can pick and choose, a nice blend of speed and consistency for you. Because not every strat is going to work the same for every person. There are little quirks in how you approach the game that will make one thing easier for one person and harder for another. But when you give yourself that big library, you give yourself a lot more room to play as best as you personally can. And we've completely missed the slide guesses. Let's go ahead and throw out one for JJ. 12-8.
12-7.
Sticking with
I believe in JJ.
Average.
Oh!
12-6. Both commentators not quite believing hard enough.
Yeah. Okay, I'll never underestimate JJ again. Never again.
Alright, D with some
Whatever.
JJ coming on into match. Now, Dwhatever's going to be heading into Dark World. One thing I'd like to note is Dwhatever's the type of nut that goes for Tsukishima cycle in his normal PB attempts. And I'm halfway curious if maybe the muscle memory will take over and we'll see him go for that quick switch press.
I think it's too risky for a 70-star tourney race. Yeah.
Okay, he is thinking. He's not letting the muscle memory take over. That's what I would think too, but we've seen crazier things like Protoman going for Island Hop just because his camera setup was wrong. Oh, but he's going on the under movement there. Okay.
Ooh.
We're seeing at least a Shia cycle on this page.
Yeah, this should be easy Shia cycle.
Very, very clean movement. Yep.
Ooh,
Suki.
close one, super optimized.
Wow, that was so close. Getting the rollout to land on the other platform like that, that's just, wow.
double first is as well in the end amazing. What a beautiful showcase by Dwhatever right there.
If this gives you any inkling of how hard that just was, for the past 3 days, I've grinded this star for like probably at least a total of 8 or 9 hours. And only in like the last bit of that, I finally got a 49.53, which is a Shig cycle. Like, this is on another level. This is what you get after hundreds of hours of practice and grinding.
Yeah, that was like a low 46 in-game time probably by D. If maybe faster even.
JJ going in on his Bowser throw as Dwhatever heads on over for sky jump real quick. Should be a pretty free one for him. I wonder if we're going to see the quick slope slide. Nope, not using the camera for it.
JJ with a 10-16 first key fade out, which is still a really respectable time. I mean, that's easy 49 pace still.
Yeah, and it looks like Dwhatever is just demolishing JJ, and it's not JJ's fault. Like, Dwhatever is just playing insanely well right now.
Yes.
And it's important to remember too, this is just the start of the run, and Dwhatever has pulled out some wild strats at the start of this run, so we could definitely see things be shaken up a little bit later on. When you've gone through lobby as much time as an old boy like Dwhatever has, you kind of expect this level of consistency. The little bobbles that pop up here and there kind of start becoming abnormal. Going for wall kicks will work, and they work pretty well for him. Nice low dive on the start too.
Still no bigger mistake by Dwhatever, if I recall that correctly. Really
One
nice.
of the most notable things I saw is he got a little dust during a rollout in sky jump. I think he just missed the rollout the first time. He just quickly hit the button again. Like, this is not even that big of a mistake.
Also, he forgot to switch the camera in time here, so he had to kick for the first red. A small detail, but that's like half a second lost maybe.
Yeah. JJ, meanwhile, having a little bit of an issue with wall kicks, having to just do a quick little backup there. I think if he hadn't ground pounded, that still would have been faster than the more basic strat.
And this is where the routes divide. Dwhatever is gonna leave Cuckoo Mountain with 17 stars, and JJ is gonna leave it with 18 stars. I believe.
It's really, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see the progression of this route just becoming the norm for top level runners. Back in season 1, it was actually somewhat uncommon to see CC in 17, but now that we're a year down the road, all of a sudden, like it's just the norm for runners like Dwhatever.
Yeah, and then just do double Tama plus after that. It's crazy. The level nowadays is just insane.
Dwhatever messing around with the penguin. I don't think we're gonna see him drop him off the side of the cliff this time, unfortunately.
Oh, but he does do the... Oh, he did the Pingu trick. Oh, that's so crazy. By manipulating Mario's speed, you can let go of the penguin a bit earlier, so to speak. So you can already start walking right before Penguin Mama talks to you. It's a really hard trick. I think Usamune found it. It's named after the Swiss TV show Pingu.
Shoutouts to Nitro and his Pingu animations. But the other part of that is your momentum gets conserved through the Mama Penguin cutscene, right? But normally that doesn't matter because like Mario just drops the penguin off afterwards and kills him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're able to start walking beforehand, then this gets you towards the start just a little faster. So JJ with his own 100 coin, having to deal with this penguin race. The penguin trying to push him away from the coins, but he's able to collect them just fast enough. That's probably the biggest pain with doing the penguin race and not being totally optimal with your sliding is just the penguin can sometimes try to push you out of the way of coins for no good reason.
Yeah, and that can be brutal. Like, you miss one coin and the run is over sometimes.
Now, I think
like, missing
JJ...
a coin can cause a 1 minute time loss.
Oh yeah, and that's the worst feeling, especially in a race. I think JJ might not be feeling quite so confident in like that long jump back to the star because he took a really laggy camera there. That lost him at least a second, I feel like. Normally, you just have the camera facing into the exit so that you're not having to like show the whole slide in the penguin. And
yeah,
it doesn't really lag at all.
JJ going really consistent there, which is though paying off, I believe. Like, still no huge mistake by JJ. He missed canonas and he had some issues on sky jump and wall kicks will work, but the run is still really solid. Reminder that Dwhatever left CCM earlier than JJ, so he's not like JJ is not as behind as it seems.
Right. And Dwhatever heading into SSL. Let's see how these plus attempts go. Should still be pretty consistent since you do still have to do plus in 120, but I mean, you never know with this trick. Sometimes it just goes wrong in really unexpected ways. But he's got the big bomb, he's got the Tama regrab, and he's on the pyramid with a super clean attempt. That is insanely precise. Not only on the button presses, but all the stick movement, every angle you have to do. It just, wow. Being able to just do that on command is another level. JJ with the ledge grab and BBH, not quite getting enough distance with his long jump. Parma Skink, this is a pre-recorded match, but with live commentary. So the runners met at a predetermined time and just had a race behind closed doors with someone there to make sure, of course, that it was a fair race with no cheating or anything like that. And that race was recorded, and we're now showing it publicly for the first time. And we do that just because, as you can see, like these runners can be from drastically different time zones. So in order to make sure that we can have the runners available every week and have them at a comfortable time for them, we use these pre-recorded system. The Dwhatever now with my least favorite star in SSL. I feel like that fly guy just sometimes decides, no, I don't really want to cooperate.
Yeah, like, even if you do nothing wrong, the Shy Guy can just mess up your run for no reason. Such a bad feel.
Now JJ with the more traditional Tama here, but it is working out for him. Yep, going right on in there. Dwhatever with a nice fast top of the pyramid star. Even though that star is easy to do, it's a little challenging to do well. Like you have to really focus on like getting the optimal, especially your timing on the last like jump dive and the way you move the stick there is really vital. You can lose like up to a full second without really realizing why if you're not careful.
By the way, Dwhatever only around 14 seconds behind world record at this point, which is insane considering world record did island hop, which saves around 4.5 seconds. So he's just like 10 seconds behind the world record tier run.
And there's still plenty of run left to go. If he keeps playing like this, I think that time deficit might be getting a little bit closer.
Yeah.
Nice red hot log rolling star. Now, I'm thinking he's likely just going to be going for the standard long jump lava boost. I don't see him going for pro here. I don't think he normally does in races. But again, you never know when muscle memory might just happen to take over for what you do in PB attempts when you're not regularly practicing for races.
Yeah. I wonder now. I think he's just gonna do the normal lava boost. But if he decides to go for the super fast Akira boost...
Okay, so JJ with the standard long jump boost here. Making it just fine. And same with Dwhatever. He's going to play it safe here. I really don't blame him. Pro Strat really does not save that much time. It's only like a couple of seconds at most. And if you're not going to be doing the pro ending anyway, I mean, it's not like you should take half the strat really, really hard and then just go easy on the rest. Like, it kind of feels like if you're really wanting to use the star as a time saver, you should kind of go for all of it. Now, Dwhatever with some bullies action, getting the ledge grab skip. It's a little more difficult to get this triple kill, as you can see here, whenever you get that ledge grab skip. Because the bullies just move around to a slightly different position. So that's actually why you... Sorry, that's actually why you see most runners opt for the ledge grab skip only on big bully, is because doing it on the second one just makes the whole strat harder for no good reason. JJ with a nice elevator tour, rolling off that really tiny platform that can be a huge meta sometimes.
Yeah, D is going off, that's true, but JJ as well. Like, still no bigger mistakes by JJ. Super solid run.
And this is not a bad run for JJ.
I think he's ahead of his personal best. We will see in a bit.
Nice triple bully kill there. Dwhatever moving on into the hardest stage in the game. I mean, this is the stage that takes probably the most time, and especially one of its stars can just be insanely hard. But that's in 120. In 70, all you have to do is front sub and then just swim around for a while. So starting off with the swimming around for a while concept, it's actually really easy to lose time here. Don't get me wrong. As I'm sure you can attest, Drogi, since don't you still have the single star record for this star?
I do. Like, I've probably spent more time on this star than on any other star. And there are a lot of different ways to lose time indeed. It's like actually really hard to explain like why. Sometimes you lose time and you don't know why. You have to find out first.
It's all about taking those arcs optimally, and the thing that you're not really seeing too well as a viewer is the force from that vortex that really influences how you're trying to influence Mario's swimming.
Yeah.
Like the whole time you're being pulled towards the center of the stage, and everything you do, like you're having to fight against that to an extent, but you also like anytime you're fighting against that, you're losing momentum. So anytime you can, you actually want to use that to your advantage, and it's hard to do that efficiently. So it's kind of why you see like JJ takes a really wide arc between like the first and second chest, because the force from the vortex isn't as intense toward the edges of the stage. There are other like little things like that where it's really something you feel more so than see as you play it through it more. The front sub from Dwhatever, just casually. Why not? No, the Manta rings look like they're going to be treating Dwhatever pretty okay.
Oh, he's even doing the super advanced lag reduction. That's so fast, saves so much time, but it's really hard because you switch the camera right before the star spawns, so you can't really see where the star is, which makes the lag reduction super hard. But D pulled it off perfectly. So let's check his fire seed.
He's moving pretty well through it right now. It should still be fine for long boost. A couple of like slightly. Oh, the ledge grab. Okay, I think he might still be fine, but it's gonna be close. Oh, that's
no.
No.
That didn't just happen.
Oh, that hurts.
Oh my god.
How good is his pole glitch? Okay, I figured he would at least go for it.
That's a huge time loss. And JJ actually almost tied with his PB at this point, catching back up a lot here.
That's 2 full cycles for Dwhatever. I'll be honest with you folks, I don't think I've seen a single race ever really where someone's ended up missing 2 lava boost cycles or 2 elevator cycles. Like that bully, it's a really unfortunate thing, but it rarely ends up doing that to you. It's just
like he unexpectedly got the ledge grab and was already holding forward, so he did the slow get up. He couldn't do anything. The bully just pushed him off and he had to watch his fate.
Now we'll have to see if JJ can fully. Okay, he's gonna be going for stand. Oh! Early Ellie's might still be possible, but it's gonna be tight. He did go for this really weird box movement, or not. So when you're trying to get under the elevator for the second red, there's this weird strat you can do that for some reason is in the wiki video for the full strat, but I don't really see anyone else go for it, where you kick the wall and like redirect that backwards momentum to take you under the elevator. It's really strange, and I don't really see anyone do it, so I'm kind of surprised JJ did. But even though JJ did miss lava boost, he's still saving a very hardy amount of time over Dwhatever here.
Yeah, he did. Like, he still got the early cycle, and he did like the perfect movement afterward. Really well done, and really well improvised by JJ. Super fast thinking there, and he didn't get burned once after.
Yeah, to an extent, like the standard early LEs without lava boost can be a little more tricky because of how foreign the movement up the elevator can feel, and also like the difference in the cycle when you get to the second level. Part of the advantage of lava boost is the lava is receding when you finally get up to that highest level, so ultimately the movement is a lot more free for a lot of it. Dwhatever in the midst of 100 coin right now. Not getting the greatest RNG, but working with what he's got. Still playing pretty well for someone who hasn't done Secrets with 100 as much recently.
This is another of these favorite stars though. One of the stars he's grinded for so many hours in the past.
And these are the stars that are vital to grind. Like the short strat stars you do need to perfect, but these long movement stars leave both so much room for you to learn more about the mechanics of the game, and there's so much to optimize within them that it's really beneficial to grind them as much as you can.
Good wall kicks by JJ, and good lag reduction at the end. But super duper flawless 100 coins by D. That was so fast. It's gonna be hard for JJ to catch up if D keeps playing like that. JJ will need another Fire Sea-like mess up by Dwhatever to catch back on.
We'll see how these... Okay, the triple jump wall kick looks good on this attempt. We'll see what Dwhatever's next starter looks like. That's one opportunity he could lose a lot of time. But you're right. As it stands right now, Dwhatever's either going to have to start making an amalgamation of small mistakes or just something huge, like a death in THI secrets, getting TikToks, just really bad luck in Rainbow Ride. Something on that level is what it looks like right now, at least. And part of what contributes to that is I feel like that mistake in Fire Sea has alleviated some pressure from Dwhatever. This is just a race run for him now. This isn't anywhere near that like potential slightly possible world record type pressure. This is just a race run. mean, I noticed after Fire Sea on his face cam, it looked like he like halfway smiled a little bit. Like I know he wasn't happy about making that mistake, but for something like this, where you know that you're still decently far ahead, but it takes that pressure of a PB attempt potentially off the table. I don't know. I feel like that might be benefiting his mentality slightly in the late game.
You're fine.
It's a weird thing to say that making a mistake would help your mentality, but I mean, when you've got the pressure of
definitely
like, a good pace, right?
You just gotta pay attention that you still care about the run. Like that could be a dangerous aspect that you're like, okay, I can't PB anymore. I don't have to play as good anymore, but I don't think that someone at these level has that kind of mentality.
Right. For a lot of people, it's a tightrope between not caring as in I'm not fazed by mistakes and not caring as in like I'm not gonna play well.
Really cool backup idea, whatever there.
I'm a little surprised that works.
But managed to fix all his mistakes really fast.
Yeah, that was. I mean, with that clip and THI not working, I mean that's the best you can hope for. Now let's see his top of the island and see if he gets the much easier form of the clip. Whenever the island is 3 times as huge. Gets through the water just fine. Nice. So JJ's gonna join D and THI. As D just real quick has to take care of piranhas. I've actually seen D mess up piranhas before. JJ not quite getting the second secret, having to do a quick little turnaround there. And that kind of messes up his momentum for this.
Oh, JJ.
I don't feel like he was expecting that wall kick.
I think he was actually going. He was actually going for it. I've seen people do that wall kick before. I did it for fun. But that he does that in a run as a backup, actually pulls it off. That's crazy. Such good gameplay by JJ.
It's such a thin wall, and the game has a bit of a tendency of saying, oh, you're kind of close to being on top of this wall, like, we'll just pop you up there. So it's really difficult to actually get a kick off of that wall.
Yeah, that's so precise. Oh, and JJ going for the mounting flip, a little bit of struggle, but he succeeds.
Okay, do whatever breezeless attempt. He's got the height and the closeness, and it's good.
Beautiful.
Breezeless is free. Quote punctation at some indefinite point in time. I just know he said it at least once. Now, do whatever going on in for reds. Are we going to see a more conservative red strat, or are we just seeing the all-out movement here? It looks like all-out. Beautiful stuff so far. Let's see how the maze goes. This is some of the most sadistic geometry in a 3D platforming game, but that is... he just made that maze bend to his will.
His facial expressions show that he was super happy with those reds. Those were perfect. Like, you can't really go any faster than that.
Like, that was frames away from, like, being a record or something. Like, that was... like you said, that's as good as you can possibly do it.
Yeah. Like, you can never expect anyone to do any better.
Oh, that slide soiled such a perfect execution. Like he got onto the platform with a firstie and like had an instant alignment. If he would have gotten that dive, that would have been perfect execution. Oh, GG falling right off.
No jump. He's not happy with that for sure. That was unfortunate. I think what happened there is that he was gonna jump to the next mushroom, but he jumped off the slope, like on the edge of the mushroom, so he couldn't save himself with a kick. Like when you jump off a slope like that, you can't change your direction, plus you can't kick, which is like, he couldn't do anything against falling into the step.
And that's one of the most infuriating mechanics in this game. I don't really understand why that's a thing. Like, why they made an exception to the speed rule to say, oh, if you jump off a slope, you're always going to dive, lol. I guess it may have been kind of an attempt to make sure you're not able to endlessly kick up a slope, but you can still do that anyway, so I don't know what they were doing there. It's one of the few design choices of this game that I feel like just aren't quite the greatest. I don't really know of anywhere that little quirk of the engine works to your benefit, but I could be wrong.
That now I think JJ isn't on personal best pace anymore. He was before Dwhatever.
No, going for the penguin head strap, but missing it. Oh no!
This looks really bad. He's gonna
lose his hat.
Away. Losing his hat. Oh no.
Oh, that would have been so hype if he would have gotten that. Oh man.
Oh god.
For those that don't know, there's a little spot on that penguin's head that you can actually side flip off of. And so what he was trying to do was land on the penguin's head and side flip up to the star. It is such a cool strat when you pull it off, and it is faster. Like, it's not just pure swag, but it is so
he gonna do it again?
Oh man. Oh, he's doing it again! He's going on. Oh, okay.
But
he's not gonna go
the
for
walking there.
If the penguin's gonna move from there, you can't do it as a backup.
Yeah, he's pulled that strat off a few times in the past. But this is like the worst case scenario on what could happen if you mess up the strat.
Yeah, reminder of Pace 2019 where he pulled that off in a race live first try.
Also, you might remember that if you lose the cap, that means Mario gets more damage from enemies and from like fall damage, but the thing that's worse for speedruns is that every time you collect the star, Mario's looking for his hat, like in the animation outside of the painting. So every time you collect the star, you lose like an additional second or two just because you have no cap.
Yeah, it's
That's why you
weird
always
thing.
need it in speedruns.
Yeah, like, I remember when I first started watching Mario runs, I used to think, like, is it slower sometimes to collect more coins because of the animation? And whenever someone told me no, I was like, oh, so that animation never matters. And it's weird to know that there is a time where that animation will matter.
Yeah.
And it's just the rarest situation where everything has already gone wrong for you.
Yeah, basically.
Also, shoutouts
Heading
to
basement.
quick shoutouts to Easy Escape for 16 months of subscription to the Speedrun channel. Thank you so much for the support. A little small YouTuber covering speedrun content, nothing special. It's not like he gets millions of views or anything. No. Okay. HMC time for Dwhatever. Kind of a bit of a reprieve towards the end of the run. It's nice that a stage that isn't quite so demanding happens so late in the run, but then Dwhatever trying to go for that swag slide kick rollout and just not quite working out.
Trying to save a few frames there, but ending up losing a few more frames. Oh, JJ might not grab the star there. Yeah, he has to readjust his position.
BDEF100 with 14 months of subscription. Let's see some GSA fire in the chat. BDEF actually just finishing up his personal 70-star tournament in the past couple weeks. Invitationals, I think, are one of the coolest parts of the community. The fact that community members can, like, just get other community members to race, like with varying restrictions.
Yeah.
Like, there have been all signs invitationals, like 16-star, no LVLJ invitationals, 45-star, of course. Like, you get to show off really cool aspects of the game that don't normally get a ton of attention.
Especially all signs.
All signs is the greatest meme run. Also, shoutouts to all coins, the category permanently in debt to Goomba RNG.
Yeah, shoutouts to Sextel, who is actually grinding it right now for world record. And I think his current PB is like 2 seconds behind world record. which is so unfortunate. It's basically an RNG crime.
All Signs meme run. Sorry, category extension run. I don't mean to disrespect All Signs, the greatest category that way.
Yeah, and if you want to check the leaderboards, just check speedrun.com/SM64 memes. That's the actual link.
It's a little bit understated though how like meme categories like that can actually help your understanding of movement because they have you do things you wouldn't do in any other run. And when you practice more varied movement, it makes you better at the game inherently.
Yes, yeah, I agree. That's what makes up a good meme category. If it brings like new aspects to the game, new strats, new routes, new, I don't know, mechanics.
All one-ups is a pretty cool one too, I think, because you get to see all these little secrets through the game while also doing a lot of really interesting movement, and you see like little aspects of the levels that you just never really go to in a speedrun anymore.
Yeah, that you didn't even know existed.
Right, like I didn't know that one-up on the Wumps Tower existed for the longest time. JJ having a ton of issues right now with Amazing Emergency Exit. But finally managing to get through. Having to go for Shake Drop, though. I'm pretty sure if you have to do that side flip backup, then Christmas Miracle is just straight up impossible. I don't think you have enough height to...
Yeah, it's impossible to get it the normal way. You'd have to do like a really good ground pound and get lucky there. JJsrl drop is the safe alternative strat there. Also, the backup with the side flip wall kick is super hard to pull off.
It's an awkward angle, and like the...
And you need like a super early walking frame, sorry.
Now, have you ever seen someone go for that, but on the left side to do the Swimming Beast in the Cavern Star if they just don't feel like doing box jump?
I've actually seen that, yeah.
I messed with it for...
strat.
I messed with it for like an hour or two, and it's only a little faster than the elevator flip strat, but it feels more satisfying. But for some reason, it's a harder wall kick to get. Like, you can't just hold up left and expect to get it. It's a little finicky. Plus, you get a lot more lag that you have to reduce.
Yeah. Also, we kinda stopped talking about D. He's just running through Rainbow Ride. Got a really good lucky to bounce in reds. Doing really well.
JJ is now trying to venture his way upstairs to meet him, but at this rate, Dwhatever might be just about out of Rainbow Red by the time he enters. Nice left side strat for tricky triangles here. Rage and Trajan, thanks so much for the Season 3 hype and the 2 months of sub. So we've now got a near synced stage entry, just with a little different of a goal in mind. So JJ going to be going for Lackey bounce here, using that standard side flip setup. Very, very consistent if you put the time into it. As long as you learn, like, about the position on the rolling platform that you need to get to and like kind of learn to adjust for the different momentums you can get from that first wall kick, that setup can be very, very consistent.
Really good wall kicks by JJ there. They can be a bit risky, but JJ did them so well.
Dwhatever going on in for TTC 100.
Favorite star?
I guess it's just the stage I'm at with learning this game. I can't imagine calling this my favorite star just because it's so painful so much of the time. But I guess it's your favorite if you can actually pull off.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. If you can
it's so satisfying.
Pull it off. Yeah, it's so incredibly satisfying.
Like we already seen like Dwhatever just slightly out of angle for that wall kick, and I hate that wall kick is even possible because of course now you're expected to go for it. And it's like the setup for it, you just barely get into a wall kickable angle if you do it right.
I feel like there's like 200 inputs or 2000 inputs on TTC 100, and you can save or lose time like on every small detail.
Oh yeah.
So the skill cap, like you can grind it for so many hours and still be like years behind a good run.
And what's really ridiculous is, like, if you don't get a 110 as your average time, you shouldn't really do the star in your run. Like, you have to be good in order to make it really worthwhile to do this star. And like you see like a 110 and you're like, oh, okay, that's not that far off of, like, or that gives me like 15-20 seconds to play with. Oh boy. Falling down to that platform in Rainbow Red's the worst because of how slow it is to get back up.
There's no good backup.
But it's like you sit there, like you look at the TTC record, and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this, but 20 seconds slower. No, it's harder than it sounds. Like you have to grind this for a lot of time.
Yeah, even if you get it 20 seconds slower, it's not like a bad time or anything. It's still a good time, but D is just too good at the start.
Right, like every little optimization you could come up with, like it just.
Like he doesn't just do the optimizations; he also does them so fast. He saves time on every side flip, on every dive, on every wall kick. It's crazy.
Doing side flips optimally like that, like and confidently too, it's not an easy feat. It's very easy, like when you're trying to learn how to get to that point, to slightly mistime something by like a couple frames, and all of a sudden your side flip is just a normal jump, or like you wait a little too long, or something else just really weird happens. And yeah, like Brayden says, the other pitfall with PTC is the game engine wasn't exactly designed for a vertically oriented stage. So like the programming to make sure Mario can't jump through a ceiling, like the fail-safe programming, is just Mario cannot go over a ceiling if there's not a floor in between. So if the game is trying to put Mario in an X and Y position that would be over a ceiling by Z coordinate, it just will put a wall there instead. And like TTC has a lot of weird little quirks of its geometry where occasionally like a small piece of geometry is detected as a ceiling without a floor above it, and then all of the clock above that is just invisible. And so it's really difficult actually navigating that properly.
Both
especially
players
when you can't see what's going on.
Both are playing super well right now. JJ doing his last moving star.
Yeah, like I'm talking about all this and we haven't seen an invisible wall. And we're seeing time-moving triples, like everything else you'd expect.
That was so fast by JJ. Yeah, D collecting his 70th star. Still on 48 pace, easily. Despite that Fire C mistake where he fell all the way down, and that SL mistake where he got blown off and lost his head.
Yeah, I mean this, like all of this run except 2 stars was 47 pace. Oh, did you see him kind of go a little bit closer towards that red?
Yeah.
I think for a moment he thought he was doing Sky Red.
Yeah. Wasn't his 120 star mindset for a short amount of time though.
Sky Reds is the biggest difficulty glow up for any Bowser stage. Like, Dark World Reds versus no Reds, there's a little bit of a difference, and Reds is a little harder, but it's not super stark. And Fire Sea is still hard with Pole Glitch involved. But Sky is just another level when you add Reds into the mix. Like, the Reds are just in such unintuitive locations that are so awkward to get to. Oh, JJ not quite getting above the platform here, trying for the side flip wall kick. He's going to try it one last time, and it does work now. He's not going to have to go for that really strange backup.
Good backup by JJ.
Dwhatever with one missed throw so far.
there he goes with a casual 48 in this race. That is such a good time considering he had these two really big mistakes. Like if it hadn't been for those, this run would have been so good.
Yeah, I mean we're seeing Dwhatever really come into his racing own recently. Like with that astounding victory at the end of season 2, and now these types of performances, I think we're seeing a new consistency king really on the uprise.
It's true. I think he can be really happy with how he played for this race. He barely made any mistakes, like on the short stars.
And that fire sea mistake was really just the game trolling him at the end of the day. Like, there was a little bit that he could have possibly done to prevent that, but...
Oh, the shy dog.
Aww. Look at that dog.
Multi-post in chat. Shoutouts to Shy Guy. But yeah, I mean, he could have prevented it, but it was very unlucky nonetheless.
Like once the chain of events started, it was just over. Right. Like if the bully
just got the max punishment.
Well, like if the bully were in the center or so of the platform, it would have just been a quick burn. He may have lost one cycle, and that would have been the end of it. But one thing that astounds me is that he didn't die. I halfway expected him to just take the death, start over.
Yeah, true.
Be done with it. JJ approaching the fight now. 50, not on the table anymore after that mistake. It was barely on the table before anyway. Next up is going to be more 70 star for the rest of the night. The next match is going to be Puncation versus Protoman, which I will also be commentating, and I believe my co-com will be Marketeer for that one.
JJ, oh, missing Bowser's tail there. But recovering well.
Not missing a throw at least. Oh, very low. I don't know if I think he accidentally hit B. I don't feel like he meant to throw there. Either that or that was that weird situation where for some reason Bowser has no momentum on his throw. How? What?
That's a low 51 for JJ still. Like a 51-16. What will it be?
Yeah, this isn't really anything to scoff at either. Like, this time is still a top 100 time, like, period, on PB attempts, so...
Yeah, and also JJ had this big mistake in TTM. Like, where he died, and... Yeah, like, really respectable time by JJ still.
Yeah, I think when we get later on in the season, we're going to be seeing more of those mistakes get ironed out. I think another thing that kind of did it in was just a lot of tiny things, like multiple stars where he ground pounded, slightly misaligned. And I think some of these things just come with more grinding. Like once you just spent more time with the game, these things just become more consistent. But that's going to do it.
For what? I had great fun with this race. It was interesting to see both players play on a really high level. Like both on PB pace for a long time. It was cool to see.
Oh yeah, like very impressive showing for Dwhatever, and a respectable showing for JJ too. I mean, this is a really nice race for both of these guys, and I'm really glad to have been able to commentate it with you, Drogi.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's gonna do it for this one. Stay tuned, folks. We're gonna be right back in just a few minutes with Puncation versus Protoman. And we're going to have more matches all the way through the night, so stick around. We'll be right back.